Today's psalm is 127. I just want to read the first couple of verses. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labour in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchmen stay awake in vain. It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives to his beloved sleep. Many of us have been given a window of time just to slow down a bit and take stock. Many haven't been able to slow down, but just the fact that there's change happening around about us makes us stop and reevaluate priorities. In that couple of verses I just read, it has the phrase in vain used 3 times. And we really want to be building with God. We don't want to be building in vain. We want to be watching over the work that God is doing. We don't want to be watching in vain. So I think it's important that we take the time to reevaluate priorities and just ask ourselves some questions. Like what we're building into. Are we building into something in vanity or into something that is valuable? Are we spending a lot of time and effort and mental capacity pouring ourselves into things that are empty, that are futile? Similarly, with what we're watching over, are we guarding things and protecting things and using our mental and emotional energy, protecting things that God's actually told us to let go of now? Are we too busy watching over things and holding on to old ways of doing things that we haven't realised God's no longer guarding these things but is releasing us from them? Are we spending time awake at night or spending mental capacity during the day being unnecessarily anxious for things? Medical science has shown us time and time again that being worried about things is detrimental to our physical health. It's unhealthy to eat the bread of sorrows, as the King James Version puts it. Working hard and getting up early in itself is obviously not futile, but when we're doing that filled with anxiety of where provision's going to come from and how we're going to succeed, then it's futile. We really need to recognise ourselves as his beloved, like it says in verse 2. As we recognise that he sees us in that way, it's like a closeness of a friendship and the intimacy of a lover, then it's so much easier then for us to trust that he is in the building and that he is in the watching and guarding over us and that he is the one that is sovereign. And when we have that confidence in his love and sovereignty, then we can truly rest. And Amplified says that even as we sleep, he is providing for us. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who labour and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So let's take time to reevaluate our building. Let's come to Jesus and learn from him what to build and what to guard over. Let's take his yoke upon us as his beloved and find rest for our souls.